Hello and welcome. I am Lori Lander, founder of Lori Lander Coaching, and I have a question for you. Are you wanting to make a change in your life and you're not quite sure how to begin or what your first step should be? If so, take your first small step and click on the link below this video to receive a free and short mini training that explains the first essential step to making a change in your life. That also comes with a powerful download for you so you can begin taking the first step to making a change today. So make sure and click on the link below to receive this free mini training. So today I'm going to be talking about reframing and how this simple strategy can save you from spending countless hours feeling anxious and obsessing about a stressful situation that has occurred in your life. And in this episode today, you will learn what reframing is and why it's important, what our brains are wired to do when we are feeling out of control, how reframing helped me through a scary situation with my daughter, and the 4 questions that you must ask yourself when you're faced with a stressful situation and you don't have all the facts. So let's get to it. I want to first explain what reframing is in case this is a new concept for you. And reframing is simply a way to look at a situation with an open mind, and it helps you broaden your perspective. And what it involves is asking yourself powerful questions that will lead to more empowering thoughts about a situation that may be causing you stress. It's important because it's a powerful and effective tool that you can use anytime that you may be feeling anxious, stressed, or worried about a situation to help you gain control over your thoughts and save you from jumping to unhealthy and disempowering conclusions that can then cause more harm than good. In order to help you gain clarity around this process, I want to give you an example of a situation that happened to me recently where reframing helped me through some negative thoughts that were getting the best of me. And this is a common one that you may be able to relate to. So, a few weeks ago, my teenage daughter Haley went out with some friends on a Friday night, and she is usually really good with responding to my texts when I check in with her. So, I sent her a text and I waited for her reply, and then I got busy doing other things around the house. And when I realized that an hour had gone by and I still hadn't heard from her, I immediately began to worry. So at first, I started to feel some angst and then some anger that she had not replied to me. And then the anger quickly turned into worry. And in that moment, I realized I was heading into a negative thought spiral. And I immediately stopped myself and began the reframing process by asking myself 4 questions. First, I asked myself, what is this story I'm telling myself about the situation? Well, I was telling myself that something horrible had happened to her because she didn't respond in a timely manner. And I went to worst case scenario in my mind in about 2 seconds flat. Second, I asked myself, is this story that I'm telling myself based on facts? Other than the fact that she hadn't responded and that she was out with friends, those were the only facts I had at that time. So the story that I was telling myself was not fully factual, and I was beginning to create an entire fictitious story in my mind about what I thought was going on, but there were no facts to back up this story that I had created. And on a side note, our brains are wired to create a story as quickly as possible when we're feeling out of control, no matter how crazy the stories may be that we're making up in our minds. Our minds need a story to help us come to some type of understanding about what is going on in that moment. So, after I came to the realization that the story I was telling myself was not entirely factual, I began to settle down just a bit, and then I asked myself a 3rd question. I asked myself, is this story really true? And after fact checking, I realized that I didn't know if it was really true, so I couldn't say for sure. And this is where I began to open up my mind to the possibility that there may be something else going on here besides the fictitious story that I had created, that something horrible had happened to her. And as I answered this 3rd question in my mind, my nerves began to settle a bit more. And then I asked a 4th question, which was, what else could be going on here? And this is where I was able to gain some fresh perspective and entertain other possibilities as to why she may not have texted me back yet. This shift in perspective was very powerful for me, and it saved me from going into a full-blown panic attack. I started to create some other scenarios of what could have happened, including maybe her phone died or maybe she missed my text. So I texted her again and she texted me right back. And when I asked her why she hadn't texted me back the first time, she told me that she was driving around with her friends and was not looking at her texts. I hadn't even thought of that scenario. And thank goodness that she didn't text me back while she was driving. So now you can see how reframing thoughts around any situation where you don't have all the facts allows you the opportunity to change the way you view any given situation or set of circumstances. So this is a really helpful and empowering way for you to better manage situations and your emotions around these situations that cause you stress. So, to recap the 4 questions that you can ask yourself to help you reshape your reality when you're faced with a stressful situation or circumstance and don't have all the facts. First, ask, what is the story I'm telling myself about this situation? Then, second, ask yourself, is this story I'm telling myself based on facts? Third, ask, is this story really true? And then fourth, ask yourself, what else could be going on here? Taking the time to ask yourself these 4 questions when you're feeling stuck, confused, or upset about a situation that has occurred may help you keep from encountering a huge misunderstanding or keep you from becoming fixated on a story that has been created out of fear or angst. I strongly encourage you to try reframing by asking yourself these 4 questions the next time you find yourself in a situation that is causing you stress. I hope that you found value in today's episode. Wishing you a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to you tuning in next week for my next episode. Stay safe and healthy.